Hey everyone, and welcome to a new edition of our Indicator Spotlight. This is something that we do about once a month, featuring an indicator from our NinjaTrader 8 library. Short little video between 10 and 15 minutes with a explanation of a indicator concept, showing you the most important functions and how you can use this in a trading setup. And of course, you also have a download link to the indicator featured here as well. All right, so this month it's the Ichimoku. So the indicator was developed by Koichi Hosada, who published a book about this in the late 60s. It's a very versatile indicator that defines support, resistance, trend direction, momentum, as well as trade signals. And of course, all of this can look a little bit much at first glance. I think the most characteristic feature here is what we see, the cloud, the Kumo, that projects forward. And I'll get back to that in a little bit. First off, I'll just go through the elements that follows price more directly. So this is the Tenkan-sen that we're looking at here. You can think of this of sort of like a short-term baseline, and the Tenkan-sen is calculated using a 9-period high, adding a 9-period low, dividing by 2. And basically then you have the same as the Danshin channel midline when applied to a 9-bar period. And then we have the Kijun-sen, applies the same formula on a 26 period, so 26 period high plus 26 period low divided by 2. So the relationship between these two is similar to that of a 9 and a 26 period moving average. 9 period is faster, of course, and follows the price, as we see here, quite closely. And the 26 period is slower. And these two periods, by the way, is the same that is used to calculate the MACD. And that's really what this indicator is as well. It's very much a momentum indicator in 5 time frames, basically. So a classic signal here is to wait for the Tenkan-sen to cross the Kijun-sen, which we see here and here, and then across up here. But although very effective, this signal doesn't occur very often in strong trends. So therefore, you can look for additional signals when price is crossing the Kijun-sen or the Tenkan-sen. You'll then want to look for thrust bars. So this here is a thrust bar, obviously, with a close below the low of the previous bar, down thrust bar. And here we have a up thrust bar with a close above the high of the previous bar. All right, so this is the cloud, the Kumo. As I said, the most characteristic feature of the Ichimoku indicator. It's comprised of 2 lines, the Chikou Span A, which is the green line here, and the Chikou Span B, which is the red line. And as I said, these 2 lines are displaced forward 26 bars and are used to identify the current trend. So a strong trend shows up as a green cloud here, and that is when the Chikou Span A has crossed above the Chikou Span B, and then you have a strong downtrend here when the Chikou Span A has crossed below the Chikou Span B line. But then you can also look at where the price is moving relative to the cloud. So because this is displacing forward 26 bars, it also gives you a forecast of future support and resistance. And so when the price is interacting with the cloud directly, it's indicating breaking resistance here. And when it moves to the downside through the cloud, it indicates breaking support and showing up as a early downtrend. And of course, if you're moving within the cloud itself, it's a flat market or a sideways market. All right, so finally we have the Chikou Span line. This is the close displaced back 26 bars. Again, a momentum filter, and the rule is simple. The Chikou Span has to be on your side, meaning that if you are looking to take a long position, the Chikou Span should move above where the price was at 26 bars ago. For the short position, of course, it's the opposite. You want to have the Chikou Span be below price of where the market moved 26 bars ago. Also, it can be a long-term momentum indication, as we see here when the Chikou Span is crossing the Kumo midline. Of course, all of this can be a bit much to keep track of and to take in these different plots and filter possibilities, which is why we offer the premium version of the Ichimoku indicator. And that is what this looks like. First, you see the paint bars here, allowing you to define various composite trend filters that will determine your signals. Here we see the price moving above the Kijun-sen. So that is a bullish indication, and therefore we get into a neutral trend here. We have the price still have the Tenkan-sen moving below the Kijun-sen here, so that is bearish. Up until this point here, we have the Tenkan-Kijun cross. And then finally, we have the price moving above the cloud here, and that accompanied by a thrust bar. And the first signal that you get in a new trend like this is a double arrow. So you can distinguish between the key signals and the secondary signal. This is a single arrow signal, so that is not the first, that's the second or third signal in this trend, whereas the double arrow is always the first. So there's a total of 8 filters to define the trend. It's a little bit much to go through all of those in this spotlight. So I'll do that for the launch presentation of the premium version. But apart from the trade signals and the trend filters, you also have the possibilities to set this up with alerts and the log and sound files, as well as using this for the market analyzer for signals and for trend scanning. All right, and the free download that we'll give you here today is the library version of the Ichimoku indicator, and you can swing by the Ichimoku category. We've created a new category for this indicator. It only has the Ichimoku in it, obviously. Didn't really fit in any of the other indicators here, so we just created an Ichimoku category for it. And yeah, you can download it for free there. And we also have about 100 indicators now in the library, all available for 150 bucks. Recently added a few new ones, the fib extensions, the range projections, as well as a few entries in the trailing stop category. So make sure to check those out as well. Taking the time and tuning in. If you like the video, leave me a comment on the video below. Give me some feedback, a thumbs up, or pass it on to a trading buddy. Thanks again for checking in. I look forward to hearing from you sometime soon. In the meantime, take care and bye-bye.